Why Not Us podcast. Thank you for coming back. We are your co-hosts, Rahmere, and I'm Seneca. Thank you for joining us back.
Thank you so much. We're so glad you're here.
Yes.
So glad you can continually, constantly, come and listen to us.
Yes.
Like, you know what I'm saying? We could have never imagined that we'd be doing this and the reception that we've been getting and the different comments and different, takeaways that people have gotten from this podcast has been definitely eye opening. So it definitely think we brought this podcast back for a reason.
Absolutely.
So it's actually pretty good to see.
Yes.
I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, we knew it would resonate with us, but we had no clue what the reception would be.
Never. Facts.
So we appreciate that every time. So, forgive us all that we have to, say thanks to you guys. So for sure, we're going to definitely get into this podcast with some of our highs and our lows.
Yes.
You want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first.
Okay.
All right. My low, I don't know if y'all can tell. My voice is a little under the weather. My voice is a little shot. I ain't even gonna lie. Which is crazy because I'm a chatter. So, just like my main instrument of talking is kind of, what I'm saying, it's a little shot. But I'm still here. Still on this podcast.
Absolutely.
Still trying to push through when I don't feel 100%. So, or sound 100%, but whatever. I'm just still trying to push through and, get this content out. So that's my low. My high is that I got the opportunity to go to the Eagles Parade recently. That was a good time. It was definitely a vibe. It definitely was, first of all, super cold. And I know that didn't help me being under the weather either, but super cold. With my dad, and he had a great time. So it's really good. I think sports transcends families. It brings people together and it was a good time. So I'm glad that to be one of the millions of people that was in Philly, but to say that I was there and just be able to tell the future,
oh my God,
2025, I was at the Eagles Parade.
That's so cool. And I wasn't there, unfortunately, but I watched it on television. I just seen everybody and just to see it all broadcast, and even when they won, just a little tidbit, not to interrupt you on your high, but it was my first time watching a full game. It was amazing. It was intriguing. So for that, it made the city has just been, ever since that win, the city has been on a high. So I feel like it's not only a high for you, it's a high for
for the whole city. Whole Philly, bro. Definitely. Yeah, those are my lows and highs, though. What about yours?
So my lows and highs, I'm going to start with my high. I feel like good TV is coming back. Just a bit. I'm such a big critique on TV and good TV because there's so much TV out there that I feel like it lost its depth a little bit. So
I agree.
Yeah. So if you haven't, I can give you guys and yourself a really good show recommendation. It's called Paradise. I really recommend, if you haven't watched it, it is, to me, it's like a cross brand of Scandal and a show that really just turns it up and you never know what is happening. So I won't tell you the premise or anything, because if I give away the premise, it's going to give away everything. But I said to say good TV is coming back, and I really enjoyed that, especially in these cold days, these cold nights.
Yeah.
Just pop on some TV.
To watch.
Exactly, right? So that's really been my high. My low, I would say, is for me, my personal life, organizing and condensing things. For me, it is, I love to organize, but it's a burden to...
It's a challenge.
Right. Condense things and, go through files and go through what you need and what you don't need, and it's just such a hassle, but it has to get done, right? Yeah. So that's been a little for me, but that's it.
I like that. I think they were both kind of real.
Yeah.
Those things was real life.
Real life.
Sometimes my high is being excited for something or whatever. I feel like nothing is too small or big to be a high.
Yeah, absolutely.
Those are very real. I like that.
Thank you. I love yours too.
Thank you.
So we're gonna go ahead and jump into what I feel like is both of our favorites, our icon of the eyes.
Come on now.
So I feel like since you went first, I'm gonna take the reins and go first on this one. So the icon of the eye for me this week, her name is Cassidy. She's a singer, and I have actually been a fan of hers since 2019.
It's a long time.
And yeah, she used to like sing, and I don't even know how I discovered her. I think just randomly on YouTube, searched her, like was just surfacing new music, and she popped up. And I think, you know, sometimes you fall out of different phases of like listening to people and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And not too long ago, I followed her on Instagram, and she has new music, and she has a whole like new aesthetic and a new era. And I love when people like rebrand themselves.
Reinvent themselves.
Right.
That's cool.
Because it's like you grow and you evolve in your music, and you could tell her music has growth to it. You know, it's just really awesome. So to me, she is someone I feel that is really coming up in the music world. And if you know, get a chance to listen to her music, she's a really great singer. So shout out to you, Cassidy. Giving all her flowers and everything like that. And
that's fire.
Yeah.
Cool.
What about you?
My icon in the eye is crazy how you went the music route.
Okay.
My icon in the eye is also a music artist.
Oh, nice.
For this week, I wanted to shout out Abby Jasmine.
Okay.
So a lot of people may have seen her before in the past.
Yeah.
She did stuff on like skits and like Vine and whatever like that, but has since evolved since then.
Mm-hmm.
She recently just dropped an album called Closure.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I was able to hear it, and I was able to listen to it, and kind of like, it's like a mix of like, kind of like a little bit sad in there, but then it's also like a mix of like popping your fly, like, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like a perfect combination of those both.
Okay.
So it's actually dope. And I think this particular project will be the one that definitely like puts her on a lot of people's map and a lot of people's radio playlists, a lot of people, you know. I think this is going to be the one. She's been making music for a little while, but I think this is going to be the one that like kind of like pushes her. And I think she'll be next up. I think maybe XXL freshman or who knows. Like, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, I think this is going to be the one that catapults her. So I just want to shout out to Abby Jasmine. And she's doing her thing. She's doing her thing.
I just love her whole aesthetic and her style. I just love her. And she's authentic. You can definitely tell.
For sure.
Shout out to you, Abby. All right, so now we're about to get into the meat and potatoes of it all, which is our main topic. So our main topic for today is why not do it alone?
Okay.
And as far as, you know, collaboration, I know we talked about before on the podcast about why not collaborate, but in some efforts, sometimes the wrong collaborations might force you into doing it by yourself. And to having to, you know, really tighten up and to really just be your own Superwoman and be your own Superman. So that's our main topic right now for today.
Yeah, and just following up off of that, I think one of the biggest kind of deterrent for people not to push forth creativity, not to push forth that project that you have inside of you, that project, that vision that was given to you. Yeah. One of the biggest deterrent is lack of support. Yeah. And a lot of people, like, we're humans here on this earth. We need each other. We need support. Being a creator is sometimes, it may look like the glitz and glamour, but sometimes it's a lonely road. Nobody's there with you when you're just going through rough drafts or when you're deciding which photo and you're doing photo edits, which photo is better than that one, or when you're deciding which piece looks better than this. When you're constantly self-doubting and constantly second-guessing yourself, nobody's there in those process. Yeah. So a lot of times when people feel like they don't have that support system or don't have people behind them, they don't even start or they don't even push themselves. Yeah. So I think this episode, we're really going to go and attack, like, you know, you are amazing as a creative. Like, why not do it alone? Or just start alone. Yeah. At the end of the day.
You don't have to settle upon, I think sometimes we get an imagery out there of what success looks like or what, you know, creating looks like and whatever genres or whatever lane that you're expressing in. And we see like a group of 5 people or a group of 10 people and like these big productions. Yeah. And it makes you feel like, well, I need this or I need that. And sometimes...
That's what you need.
Sometimes in certain companies, those people literally, they might clutter your world, what you're trying to do. You might have a big picture and you might have a group of 5 people that may deter you from your actual goal, your actual vision. So sometimes it's like, hey, you don't need that. You just sometimes need you. I like to say you need a mic and a light. That's how, I mean, that's been said before. I'm not the person that created that.
Never heard that before. That's fire.
So that just basically means like all I need is, I don't need the smoke and the mirrors. I just need me, myself, a mic and a light. And that goes for singers, but that can be in any realm, right? I just need a camera and a light. I just need this and this. And it's okay to not have that fluff. Don't be scared of you and what you can do and what you could think of, you know? So I think people are scared because of the pictures, the depictions that we see. We go on Instagram, we go on TikTok, and you see a big crew, and you see a big, you know, you see the sound people, you see the editing process, and you're like, well, I can't do it because I don't have this, and that. And it's just like, sometimes you have to wear like multiple hats. You have to be the camera person, you have to be the photographer, the editor, this, the that, the PR person, the market. You have to play all the roles, and that's okay.
I just feel like, imagine how many ideas wouldn't be alive in this earth if people just worried about what they don't have.
Yeah.
Or worried about what it doesn't look like. Or worried about, hey, such and such, they'd never give me good feedback, or I don't have a team behind me.
Yeah.
Like, think about how many inventions, how many movies, films, music, like art, fashion, all that stuff. How many would not be here today if people was worried about the lack thereof.
Yeah.
I think it's scary. I think it's definitely hard and scary to kind of step out on faith and step out on your own and kind of just do something in completely new territory by yourself. But I think that builds the most character and it builds the most creative muscle because at the end of the day, win, lose, or indifferent, no one can take that away from you that, hey, I don't know. I was a YouTuber for about 4 months, and I learned so much. It didn't work out for me.
Yeah.
But now I can take those transferable skills and take it somewhere else. Or I learned to be independent and do stuff on my own, and that I can go anywhere. So I learned so much.
Yeah, the trial and error. I think it's important for everybody to have, like, when you're creating, to have that trial and error period, and to know what you're capable of, and how do you shock yourself. I feel like before we can shock the world or give the world, you know, these meme moments or these really viral moments, it starts within you. How can you shock and surprise yourself? How can you go beyond what you see, you know?
Okay. Lion King.
I didn't even think about the Lion King,
that's
but
Lion King.
Yes. It's just so important to stay in the course, right? And it's okay. The progress is the progress. The process is the process.
Yeah. And
you have to stay in it and don't look at the lines. Lines can get blurred. Lines can go straight up, down, vertical. But look at where you are, where your mark meets. And you never know what that can do for you. You know, who can see that? Who could see, oh, I did it, you know, YouTube for 4 months. And it may have not been your best, but somebody who might want to collaborate with you. You never know. So yeah, it's good to build that muscle.
Yeah. And I guarantee anybody that you look up to, anybody that you kind of see in your lane or not in your lane, or you kind of creatively aspire to be like, they've probably had to start something by themselves too.
Absolutely.
Like, they may have the largest team with the largest, most creative people. May have everybody on their team from execs, A&Rs, or just like stylists, cameraman, camerawoman, directors. They have so much that you see now, but on ground zero, day one, it was just them.
Yeah.
And I think you just have to put your trust in yourself and put trust in the vision that was given to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Because
I wholeheartedly feel like if you was giving a vision or given talent, we would not be given these things if we did not have the means to bring them forward. I feel like God doesn't make mistakes. That's how I feel. And I feel like he wouldn't have bestowed these certain gifts in you, or this vision, or this passion, or these things inside of you, if it's impossible for you to bring it forward. Because why would that happen? Like, why would he do that?
Yeah. And sometimes I also feel like some of those people that, you know, you named, you said, you know, the people that we look up to, I feel like you are authentically yourself. You do your I feel like when you are starting at the bottom and you're striving like on your own and it's independent. I think about people like an independent artist, independent music artist. Think about it. They have to work the hardest.
Mm-hmm.
They have to like sell their work. They have to like do everything, marketing, interview. Like there's no one to kind of help them or like pull them up a little bit. So I feel like that you do your best work and you try your darnest because you really want to showcase to people that it's possible. It doesn't have to be 1,000 people behind you. It's very possible to do things like very much,
Mm-hmm.
And we're not saying that's the only way, but it's possible. It's capable. You have a mind, you have thoughts, you have opinions, you have great visions, you have great storytellings, you have great skill sets to embody the work that you see on social media, to embody that in yourself. The work that you see, the work that you think that people are so great and they glitz it up, okay.
Mm-hmm.
They glam it up, cool. They filter it up. But think about the authenticity that you're behind because you're doing it by yourself and for yourself.
I just feel like just because you start alone doesn't mean you will stay alone.
That's right.
I just feel like it's something, your gift attracts people.
Absolutely.
Like it attracts fans, followers, attracts haters.
Yeah.
It attracts people.
Mm-hmm.
So just staying true to that gift, staying true to what was given to you, and just doing it,
absolutely,
your needs will be met wholeheartedly. Your supply, anything that you need, it will be met tenfold. You won't even, I feel like it will just be natural. You won't even have to go look for, I need to go find a manager, or I need to go find just an art curator to get my stuff out there. And you might be looking. I feel like wholeheartedly, like the more you try to find people to kind of support your craft, they kind of fall by the wayside. Yeah,
because people attract to authenticity. People attract to, good work ethic. People attract to people just doing it just because they love it. If you're doing things because you're just trying to get trending, you're trying to get viral, and you're looking for people, it's not really, not too much is going to come by your way. But people attract to you when they see like the hard work.
That you're really working in your zone. Yeah. Absolutely. I just feel like, I don't know, man. I feel like if you have a doubt, and it's perfectly fine to have doubts. That's a human emotion.
Absolutely.
Right? But like, you truly don't need people to kind of like validate you. And I think I know where I'm going with this. But also, why not go it alone? This also talks about, we were talking about like people that support you on the ground. Right. But this also talks about, I feel like, institutions. Yes. You don't need a job to validate you.
That's right.
Like you don't need, let's say, for instance, I'm a video editor and I edit videos on CapCut. Just because a job is not paying me, or just because I send them my work and they feel like it's not good enough and they don't support what I'm doing,
that's right,
does not make me less of a creative. I just feel like
you ate that up.
I'm
not
just
gonna
saying,
lie.
you ate when you do this.
You ate that up. Because it's true. I feel like people don't do or excel their best work because no one is around them to see it.
Yeah.
But it's okay. Like, it's okay. I recently gave someone advice, just basically saying like, do it anyways. Like, like take the thing or take the course or do whatever, build your portfolio, even though if you don't, there's no one around to see it, just do it. Because you're doing it, you're growing your skill sets, you're growing your like confidence up. So when someone does see it, it's like, oh, I knew that was good already. Like I didn't, it's great to have confidence. People think that confidence is not cockiness. It's up to a certain point where it does become that. Yeah. But you want to believe that you're great before someone else can tell you you're great. I think that's essentially what you're saying. Right?
Know who you are.
Yes. Yeah. It's so we can get lost in people's perspectives. Like it's like, what do you think? Like, no, what do you think? Like you have to know before I can bring something to someone. I have to know at least 50%, that is, I want to say more than that, but I'm being lenient. At least 50% that your work is good. You have to know that. And if you don't, then you should not even go to that person. Keep working, keep grinding until you know that it's at least up to what you think that is good.
Yeah, I agree with that wholeheartedly. I just think, this topic reminds me of?
What?
And I hope I'm not making it go left. This topic reminds me of Dreamer.
Oh, yeah.
So in Dreamer, if you haven't seen it, Dreamer is one of the last kind of short films that New Chronicle Productions put on,
Mm-hmm.
and it follows a guy. His name is escapes me at the time. I don't know the main character's name, but
Me either.
yo. Anyway, it follows the main character.
Oh, hey, you've been on here. It's okay. No, that's not the wrong thing.
Wrong, yeah, in my heart. It follows the main character, and he's kind of was looking for like a cosign from he was writing scripts, and he was kind of wanted to get it. He wanted to make a movie.
Mm-hmm.
The script writer, the production company that he sent his script to, they didn't really like their script or whatever like that. But at the end of the day, they decided to pick his script, but in order for it to pick it up and make the movie, they said, "Hey, we got to make some changes. We're gonna have to change this, that. We're gonna add this, that, and the third." And the main character of Dreamer kind of wasn't feeling that.
Mm-mm.
He was like, "I don't know. I'm not sure." He decided, you know what? I don't need this film production company. I'm gonna make it myself. So it that's why I feel like it kind of relates a tiny bit because it's like he decided to go it alone.
You're right.
Right? Now we see how it turned out.
Yeah.
But I think the principle's still good.
Right. The intention. The fact that somebody can have in their mind, I'm going to do it anyways. I'm going to do it regardless. And I think sometimes when you speak about institutions, if you look at any sector of lane of creativity, every lane has a certain like high mark, right? Mm-hmm. If it's acting, if it's music, if it's art, every like sector has like the highest peak of where you want your thing to go, your project to be at. But sometimes that high institution is not even, it's just hype. It's just, it's not to say that if I put my music in the Grammys, it doesn't mean that
it's good or bad.
It's good or bad. It's just based off opinion in historics.
Doesn't mean that it's sold well.
Right. It doesn't mean that. So sometimes when we think like these high brands, these high companies or organizations that we have to get our works to here. No, you have to get your work to where you think that is the hype for you. Mm-hmm. You know, don't forget the companies, the brands, forget Hollywood, forget anything that is of what we've been seeing for centuries and years. Because that's not the top. The top is when you feel like for you, your work has reached your goal, reached your intention, inspired someone. It's not here. It's not institutionally or a company. It's not there. Yeah. So it's
like you said, because it might not even live up to the hype.
Right. So
like
do
what
it
you see,
anyway.
And it may not even be all that what it's cracked out to be.
Yeah. Do it anyways. Do it because nobody is looking. Do it because no one's paying attention. Mm-hmm. Do it because you just want to do it. Don't do things because there is something. There's an incentive behind it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Or like to become famous.
Right.
Like,
yeah. That's when things start getting, when you talk about the movies, that's when things start getting really, okay, well, how much did this sell? Mm-hmm. And what was this last time? And, we should remake that because, no.
I promise you, if you do it alone with genuine intention and you have genuine, true talent, you're good. Like I told you, the right people will come around you. Mm-hmm. The right people will watch your stuff or listen to your stuff or buy your stuff. Mm-hmm. I feel like you have those three parts in order. I feel like you're good to go. Mm-hmm. Like it just starts from the root and the heart. It just starts like, hey, this is my intention. This is what I want. I want this because I don't know. I think I'm really good at it, or I want to start this because this has been laid on my heart to do. Or I just want to start this because no one like me who looks like me is doing this. I feel like if you have a pure intention, I feel like you have genuine talent that was just gifted to you and just like an undeniable talent. Like whether if you don't even think that you're good enough, but you're good. I promise you, like you're good. You're good at playing guitar. You're good at playing piano. Mm-hmm. Like you have some talent. There's a lot of people who are famous but not talented, or a lot of people who are on and don't really have a talent. They have a talented team.
It's a gimmick.
But that's another thing. They have a talented team behind you.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you just do it with pure intentions, with genuine talent, I think the right people, everybody will come around you and things will just line up. Even if you have no one around you supporting you, do it alone.
Yeah.
Do it alone.
Yeah. And you might ask us, how do we know? We know because we've had to do it.
Yeah,
And
I was going to ask for some examples of when you feel like you have.
Listen, we have, I feel like personally, like I kind of be going back and forth. Like I work with NCP, but also I'm a part of NCP. Excuse me. I also work with my mom with her candle business, and I've seen both sectors personally where we're like we're not thinking about numbers and we're not thinking about that. We're just doing our thing, right? Mm-hmm. And people will come across us and they'll be like, oh, well, I know you guys do this, or like wedding videos or stuff. People will literally come to us and attract us. My mom's business, it's just, to me, is when you're doing things, organically and stuff like that, it's going to attract. People are going to come to your page. People are going to find you no matter what. And it's been time shown. Like, I can't think of how many times people reach out to me and they go, oh my goodness, I love your videos, or how do you do this? Or I want to work with you and your mom, or I want to work. Oh, we've seen this company here. And we're like, how did that get there? How did this get to this person? We didn't ask these people. We're not begging and pleading and pleasing. They got to that video or got to that product because it was passed around, because we're talented.
Your names was in rooms you ain't never stepped foot in.
Exactly. And that's what you have to focus on. The examples attest to the results. And that don't make sense. But those results are real. So, and you have any examples, I'm sure?
I was trying to think of a particular example where I felt like I had to go it alone and just step outside my box and do it. The only example I can really think that's probably like prevalent to this is when I first started my YouTube channel.
Okay.
Obviously that's something that I've seen YouTubers do, seen people do, but nobody like around my age that I knew was kind of doing it, or nobody that I knew was doing it. So it was definitely, I guess, just a step. And I didn't necessarily, quote unquote, have the support. Because I feel like, Black parents sometimes are just kind of like, you want to put yourself on the internet? You want to do this on the internet? Like, kind of like safety.
Strangers.
And I get that wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
But I just think that I always wanted to make people like laugh or make people feel good or forget about the problems they going on in their life. So I'm like, why not start a YouTube channel? Despite the lack of support, quote unquote. Not that I didn't have the support, like I said, but parents are sometimes wary of what their children do on the internet. I just wanted to create despite of that.
Yeah.
So I kind of did have to like reach out and kind of do it alone, figure out how to set up the YouTube channel, how to figure out how to what things I wanted to do. I think I started with like little skits or whatever, and like I said, I think I started at a time where skits was like hype, whatever. But I had to go through with like being known as the YouTube kid or being known as the making funny videos on the internet. Like I wasn't even allowed to have an Instagram per se until like maybe my senior year of high school. But I still was making videos and I was sending to my friends in my, hey, can you post this on Instagram? Right. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you have to. You have to.
And I think one of my favorite points of life of that creative journey was, I think this was probably sophomore year of college, where I was continuing to make YouTube or everything like that. And then my parents seen what I was doing and they got me my very first DSLR camera. Very first camera. I think that was a big cosign. It was a big like, hey son, we see what you're doing. Keep up the good work. You're good at it. And that's what I would truly say, like start alone. And then the right things will come to you. If you just have pure intentions and you have genuine talent. I feel like that's a pure, great example.
Yeah. And another thing I think also too, when we talked about before, looking for validation, I think it doesn't have to say start looking for it in this way, but when you start naturally doing, it alone, at least I find, a lot of people find that, the acceptance that you want to find is going to come naturally. Like there's been so many times where I'm like having a conversation with friends or, us or whatever, people be like, I love what you're doing. You're really talented. How do you do this? How do you do that? Like that constant gratification that you're looking for. And let's say even to begin at all, it's going to come at the end. And there's going to come at the result. People are going to come to you and say, that's a super dope idea. How did you even think of that? You're so out of the box. You're like, I feel like what we look for is that acceptance. And you're going to get that. I think that's just the closing chapter. You're going to get that acceptance no matter what, because people see perseverance, people see hard work. And that's to, tie in within your story. Yeah. Your parents saw your hard work. They seen like that you really wanted to do something. You stuck to it. This was not something like it was just a gimmick for you. No. You took it seriously. And that's all you have to do. Take things seriously. If it's something that you want to do, make sure that you're serious about your art also too, because people are not going to want to attach themselves to you or want to invest into you or want to support you if they don't feel that you're authentic, if they don't feel that you are hardworking, if they don't feel that you're dedicated. So definitely, if you're looking for that gratification, stick to being dedicated and working hard at it.
Man, start that business, man. Yeah. Doesn't matter if you don't know your legalese, you don't know the ins and outs of. I don't know how much to charge. I don't know how much money I should get for this. Start that business. Start that channel. Drop that album. You know what I'm saying? Paint that picture. Design that dress or design that piece of fashion.
Yep.
Just do it. No Nike, but like literally start alone.
Yeah, and get good at it.
Yeah.
Get good at the craft. I feel like people don't look at these things as crafts. This is a craft. Everything that you do that's innate in you, that God gave you, is a craft, and it should be taken as so. It shouldn't be taken lightly. It shouldn't be taken, I'm going to do this little thing and then I'm going to go on my phone and go on TikTok. No, that is not what dedicated people do. That is not what hardworking people do. And sometimes you have to like be your own. We talk about wearing different hats. You have to be your own therapist. You have to be your own coach to say, let's get in the game. Let's stay focused. Let's stay diligent. And people will see that. You don't have to like seek out people. People will seek that out of you. So yeah, get to work and then get, on your craft. Study it. Learn it.
Get on it.
Do it.
No
Nike.
No Nike. Facts. Do it. I think this about wraps it up, honestly. There's nothing more we could say, but just start alone, man. It doesn't matter. You don't have an entourage. You feel like you don't have the support. You feel like, people are not paying attention to you. Like, start alone. It's okay to go it alone. It's okay to have just moments of just, doing it by yourself. I feel like that just makes the best story.
Yeah.
I feel like it grows you more as a person.
Yeah.
I feel like it just, builds your character. And no one can take that alone kind of season from you. Yeah. And what you take from that, what you learn from that.
Absolutely.
Sometimes it's just good to go it alone.
Yeah.
And you may feel like, all right, I've been going it alone for like 8 months now. All right, where my people at?
Yeah, no.
The time is not up to you. I'm not going to lie. The time is not up to you.
Yeah.
You may be by yourself doing your art for about 5 years.
Yeah. And that's okay, because it's like, that's beautiful. Make that hard work something beautiful. Make it masterful.
Yeah.
Make it art.
You learn so much from that.
Oh yeah. And you get so much story, so much color. It's so much more colorful. So much more like, hey, come listen to my story, listen to how I did, what the trials and errors were. It makes it so much more fulfilling.
Cool.
Yeah. Definitely. So that is that on that topic, and we hope that you got everything from that, and I hope you affirm yourself, and I hope you get to going. Now we're gonna dive into our final 5, which is my second favorite of the segments. So it seems like you're amped and you're ready.
I am amped. I'm very amped and ready. All right, guys, I wrote mine down. I promise. I wrote mine down.
Not gonna do the 1, 2, 3 thing.
I am.
Okay.
My final 5 for this episode is trust. Everything else will come.
Ooh, that was smooth. I like how you slid that in there. Okay.
Trust had a little comma in there.
Okay, comma.
Everything else will come. And I think that just reiterates everything we talked about.
It does.
Starting now, trusting what was given to you. You know what I'm saying? And everything else will follow. Don't worry about it. Funds will follow. Don't worry about it. Fans will follow. Don't worry about it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Other visions and other collaborators will follow. It'll get there. It'll be there. Do not let that stop you from starting. You cannot have demand without supply. We're going back to just store and commerce and products. People cannot want something that doesn't exist.
Absolutely.
You have to make it exist first. Simple as that. That's my final 5. That's all I got.
I love it. It was simple. It was to the point. Mine is also simple and straight to the point. my final 5 is your next idea is waiting. And
that's fire.
Thank you. You had me down. I'm like, is that 5?
Fact check a little bit. My bad.
That's 5. It's just simple. It's no like deep explanation. Just what we're, reiterating once again. Just be the fire. Put the fire right up under you and just go in full throttle. Don't have any doubt. Just next idea is waiting. And be open, be creative, and trust yourself. Trust your vision.
Yeah.
No idea is dumb and no thought is dumb. No. Nothing is dumb. Write it all on paper. And just write like a list of ideas and just like go until you can't go anymore and just start there.
I feel like it doesn't even matter. I don't know how to do it. Or
right.
It's not going to look right. Or no one's going to watch it. Or no one's going to buy it. No one's going to buy it right now. Right. No one's going to be watching it right now. So it doesn't look right now. So like you have nothing to lose and so much to gain by just doing it.
Yes, you do.
Just doing it. Yeah.
Yes, and that's just to wrap it up. And that was a great podcast episode. It was a great segment, and I hope you enjoyed it. How we enjoyed it. We love coming to you guys with these topics and with anything else. If you have any topic suggestions, ideas, please put in the comment below. We love suggestions. We love to hear it from you guys. Make sure you're liking this video, you're sharing it, you're commenting, you're going to check out our Instagram and. Liking up those reels because those reels are just coming. They are just, yes. So make sure you're supporting us how we would love to support you. And anything else?
Let us know what other topics you want us to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Dissect.
Yes.
Get down to the nitty gritty about. Yes. Let us know what other guests you want us to come on the podcast.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Just throw us suggestions our way. Mm-hmm. We ain't too proud to beg.
No. And make sure you keep sharing with this video. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell those friends.
All of them.
All of them. And once again, for creatives, by creatives.
See you next time.